Hi and welcome to Plant Joy Co. My name is Annalise and I love making videos about planty content for all my planty enthusiasts around the world. It's been a very long time since I have made my last video, but it's just been busy with work and also I had a little bit of a health scare. But I can't stop myself from doing something that I really love, which is tending to my beautiful plants. And so here we are, once again shooting this video for you. In today's video, I'm going to share both my Milsbo cabinets, Milsbo 1 and the other one on the other side of the room. I've got Hoyas in it, as well as some good and very sought after Philodendrons. So come along with me and enjoy some of my planty goodness. If you have been following me on Plant Joy Co., you would know that I got these Milsbo cabinets last year in Jan. Today I'm going to be starting off the video by cleaning the top, because I have some huge plants on top, especially my beautiful Cebu Blue, which is really trailing, and my Compacta Hindu rope, which is also very long, and I cannot house it anywhere else. So I'm going to start with the top, and then I'm going to go inside the cabinet and take you tier by tier. I'm going to start with the top first, and I'm going to take off all the plants so that I can wipe the top of the cabinet. This is my amazingly beautiful Monstera Adansonii tricolor. This is a propagation from my mother plant of the Monstera bursigiana albomarginata. Now this is really extra long, so I have to be very careful with it and ensure I don't break it. It looks really dry, so it needs a good water before I put it back. And the last one is my beautiful Hindu rope, which is in flower. Look at those beautiful blooms. Oh my God, it is so dusty here. If only you could see. I'm going to start by spraying off some water on it so it doesn't fly off everywhere and I don't start sneezing. Oh my gosh. Seems to have some drying because my kitchen is not very far from here. So I'm going to get my degreaser too. Okay, that should do for the moment. I'm going to get my degreaser. I'm just going to use this Ajax multi-purpose cleaner. I'm going to spray it on top just a little bit because I'm scared it may peel off the paint and I don't want to do that, and I'm just going to give it a good wipe. Oh, perfect. This is amazing, so clean. So when I'm cleaning, I try to kill two birds with one stone. I clean as well as I check my plants if there are any dead leaves or if there are any pest. And I try to, if there's any pest, I try to spray my plants. However, today I don't see anything. They look quite clean because a few weeks ago I had sprayed them all out. But they seem very dry, so I'm going to use my handy dandy sprayer, which I bought from Bunnings. It's just $13 and really cheap. And I use my nutrient solution, which is GT Foliage Pro, for most of my epipremnums and monsteras. And I'm going to give it a good spray because it's going to go back up on that shelf. Okay, let me check. I'm going to get it out of its cache pot and have a look. It still looks very dry, so it's going to need some more water. Monstera Japanese tricolor, to see if it needs water. Yes, I think a little bit probably would help just before it goes up. I'm going to start with the top of the moss bowl. The Monstera Borsigiana albumarginata also needs some water, so I'm going to give it a good spray too before I put it back on the Milsbo cabinet. Okay, I think that's good enough. Now I'm going to put all of these back except for my Compacta. I have a different nutrient solution which is not the Foliage Pro, so I'm going to put these up first and then come back to the Compacta. Now that I've watered my plants and checked for any pests, I'm going to wipe the side of the cabinet just with this glass cleaner and some paper towel so that it's clean when my plants go back up. Now I'm going to pull out these yellowed leaves out because I don't want them drying then causing any fungal issues. Okay, this one too. Next, I'm going to check my Hoya Compacta. I see a dead vine here. I'm going to cut it node by node, but before I cut it, I'm going to spritz my scissors with some rubbing alcohol so that it's clean and it doesn't spread any germs from the last time I used them. Because I don't remember when I last used these scissors and for what I used it. So I'm just going to snip it node by node to see if it is. Look, it's absolutely dry and dead. So node by node. I think this was my inner variegated Hoya Compacta, which didn't do very well for me. So anyways, unfortunately it has to be cut. Okay, here are all the nodes which are dead. Sad, but what do you do? Now I'm going to check if there's some water because I put this into a self-watering pot. And if you see, it's empty. It's almost empty. So I've got my handy dandy sprayer here, which is USB chargeable. And I'm just going to fill it up and then put it back where it needs to be. And there you go. This is really convenient because you don't have to keep pumping. It's just at a press of a button, and that's just enough for it. Now the nutrient solution that I use for my Hoya Compacta is the GT Orchid Focus, Grow, as well as the Bloom. So I use like a 70 to 30% ratio for both of them. Yeah, so now that's ready to go back on the Milsbo cabinet. And let me just give this plastic saucer a little bit of a wipe so that it's all clean. Yeah, and then I'm going to put it back up. Isn't she absolutely gorgeous? Now that I've cleaned the top of my Milsbo cabinet, I'm going to open my cabinet and I'm going to take you tier by tier and then show you all the plants in my collection in this cabinet. This is my Hoya chingangensis. It's relatively new in my collection. And this is a baby Hoya engleriana. This is another cutting which I got of the Trubii, Scindapsus trubii albo. It was just a one leaf cutting that I had got, and now it is giving me two more leaves. One full albo though. Next is my Hoya coronaria red. I've recently trellised it on this DIY trellis which I made myself. This is one of my prized possession, my blue oil fern. It's not looking too good. So if any of you know of, can give me some handy tips, please do share them in the comments. Next is my Hoya sulawesiana. I love the long leaves. And my Hoya diversifolia outer variegated. Unfortunately, it has lost all its leaves. And this is my beautiful Hoya crassipetiolata splash. I love the speckling on its small leaves. Next is my Hoya rotundiflora. This one is so different as compared to the other Hoyas that I have in my collection. The leaves are oblong shaped, almost oval. I have only two left on this shelf. This is my Hoya archboldiana. For a very, very long time, it just had 3 leaves, and now suddenly it has shot out a few more branches, and I see small little leaves and a long vine. So I feel really happy about that growth. And last but not the least, this was one of my original and the first in my collection. It's my Hoya pubicalyx, and look at those beautiful new leaves. How beautifully sun-stressed they are. I love the speckling and the long leaves that it has. And it's got multiple growth points. Oh wow, I've really not cleaned this shelf and this cabinet for a while. It really looks so dirty and speckled with all of that, nutrient water. It really needs a good clean. This is my hygrometer, and because the cabinet is open, it's at a 64% of humidity. But usually it's around 80 to 85% humidity when the doors are closed. And a good temperature of 24 degrees. Because these Barina T5 lights are really, really good, and I would really suggest if you have a Milsbo or any IKEA greenhouse cabinet, you must buy these. I'm just going to use water. I really like this water. Now this side I have the egg bowl, so I have to take that egg bowl off. Or I can just lift it up instead of taking it off and just spray it and wipe it down. Okay. For my acrylic shelves, I'm just going to use this oil sprayer which I got from Woolworths here in Australia. It's a decor brand. I've just filled normal tap water in it. I'm using a microfiber cloth and I'm just going to wipe it down. I'm just going to spray it on this microfiber cloth and wipe the pegboard first. And we do not use any household cleaners on acrylic because it can, damage the acrylic layers. And I got these pegboards and all my shelving for my Milsbo cabinet from Modern Aqua, which is an American brand, and it's available online. So these are all my plants from my first shelf in the Milsbo cabinet. Now if you see, I try to use self-watering pots for most of my Hoyas. Because of the big collection, it's not possible to water them, every day. So these self-watering pots really help me out. So I'm going to check each and every self-watering pot, and I put this in a cache pot so that I do not want, algae buildup. Like this one. This is a transparent pot, and if you see, there's a lot of algae buildup in it. And some of these have even outgrown the pot because there's so many roots at the bottom and they need an up pot. I'm now going to show you how I clean the algae off from these pots, and once I show you that, I'm going to put all of them back into my cabinet. Now that I found some algae buildup in my self-watering pots, I'm going to take them to my kitchen sink and clean them up. If you have any tips to prevent the algae buildup in a Milsbo cabinet, please do let me know. Okay, I'm going to start with the rotundiflora, and I'm going to show you. Like, this does not have so much of algae buildup, but it still does. So I'm going to show you how I clean it. So I'm going to tip off all this water, and I'm going to clean this gently with my hands. Luckily there are no roots which are coming out from the pot. And I check the bottom to see if there's any algae, and I clean it. Okay, now that it seems a little cleaner, this wick is still full of algae deposits, but it's much cleaner compared to what it was. The self-watering bottom, I am going to clean it with just any kitchen soap, but I'm trying to use this Earthwise plant powered cleaning action dish washing soap. And I have 2 of these brushes which I mainly only use for my plants. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I clean it. I just give it a scrub. And there you have it. It's as good as new. Now let's check and compare this self-watering pot as compared to the the transparent bottom. This one is opaque. Look at the difference. It does not have so much of algae buildup as compared to the others, and the wicking cord also looks very, very clean. But I'm still going to give this a little wash. And now I have these self-watering pots which are relatively clean. I'm going to fill them up with some nutrient water and then put them back into the shelf. I don't want to put a wet pot into onto a clean shelf. So I'm going to give them a quick wipe down, and then I'm going to fill them up with my nutrient water, which is ready here, just like so. And there you have it. Okay, now I'm going to arrange my Hoyas back into the cabinet. Now I'm going to put all of these and try to arrange them aesthetically. I have two smaller ones which will go in the front. Actually three. My Chinhamjiangsis, my Engleriana, and then my Scindapsus trubii albu can go here in the middle. And there you have it. The first shelf is done in the Milsbo cabinet. Now we have the second layer and then the bottom layer. Now that we've completed the top and the first layer in the cabinet, I'm going to go to the second layer. I'm going to just share some of my plants and the names that I have, and then I'm going to transfer it onto my table and then wipe down this shelf. This is my first ever African violet in my collection. Isn't she gorgeous? Look at those beautiful petals and those beautiful blooms that she's given me. Next is my Hoya bella variegated. I have lost one of these plants. This is my second take on this beautiful plant, and I hope she thrives in my care. So wish me luck for this one. This is my Hoya crassipetiolata variegata. This is a very expensive plant in my collection. Unfortunately, she has been dropping leaves for me left, right and center. Look at all of those that bear vine. I have recently tried cakey paste on her, and fingers crossed she's going to give me some new growth from those points. Next I have my Hoya vietii variegated. Look at all that beautiful variegation on these new leaves. I'm just in love with this plant. This is the Matilde variegated. This plant is really thirsty. I have to literally water her every second or third day, even though she's in a self-watering pot. She really loves to drink water. This is the Daikia Sumatra. I love the heart-shaped leaf, and look at that beautiful venation. Just amazing and so striking. This is the Sigillatus wide leaf. Another amazing plant in my collection. I got this as cuttings, and it's finally starting to grow and show me new growth. Even over here, can you see this little leaf? Just from vines. Now this Hoya is the black sheep of the family. Very troublesome to me. All the time keeps dropping leaves, doesn't show me any new growth. But I don't lose hope and I don't give up easily. And here she is. I'm giving it the next shot. This is the Lacinosa sulcata. I love the speckling of green on the silver leaf. Isn't she gorgeous? This is my Numeroides silva. There are two plants in this pot. It's looking a little dehydrated. Look at those leaves. I have to look at its roots. I hope it doesn't have dry rot. This is the Hoya bourdainii. This was a free cutting that I received with one of my purchases, and it's a trooper. It's really growing in one quiet corner of my Milsbo cabinet. It came as 3 or 4 leaves and now it's really growing for me. So thank you. So I've just finished cleaning the second shelf and I'm going to put all my plants back. And I love my Hoya Bella in a variegated. She's so gorgeous. Make some space for my beautiful African violet. I just love that violet color. It's gorgeous and it's quite, I've done the finger test and it's quite wet, so I don't need to water it. And there you go. The second tier is done. Now I'm going to move all my plants back onto my coffee table. This is one of my latest acquisition. I had it earlier, but when I went on holiday, it died on me. This is the amazing Hoya Philodendron, I think. I have lost the label, but I'm going to look up the listing and write the name. Look at that beautiful venation, and it's got some, the back of the leaf is very pubescent, feels like velvet to touch. This is my Philodendron Ilamanii. There are 2 plants in it. I just got them as like 2 or 3 leaf cuttings, and it's a very slow grower, but it's growing steadily for me. Next I have my beautiful New Guinea ghost. Look at it. This is also a new acquisition. I just bought the entire plant because my plant wasn't doing very well and I had someone selling it. So I just bought the entire pot from her. She's gorgeous, and look at that beautiful sun stressing because she's so close to the grow light. I love those hues of purple and pink. Simply amazing. Now this is a prop from my Adansonii Japanese tricolor. It was just a 2-leaf cutting which I propped, and look how much it has grown for me. So if any of you are interested, I'm based in Sydney, Australia, and I would love to sell this cutting and share it with a plant enthusiast who is looking for some Japanese Adansonii. Next I have my Philodendron Giganteum Blizzard. Now when I bought this plant, can you see how badly damaged it was? It is actually. It came really dehydrated because I bought it in the peak of summer and it didn't travel very well for me. However, in my care, it has given me 4 new leaves and beautiful marble variegation. Now this is also about a month old in my collection. This is my Scindapsus trubii Moonlight Mint Variegated. It's got very little variegation on those minty leaves, but she's growing steadily for me. She came as a 3-leaf rooted cutting and now she is giving me a 4th leaf here. Anthurium Queen. It's not doing very well. Drying off at the edges. I think she's very thirsty. I did water her a couple of days ago. Yeah, exactly what I thought it was. So she needs a good drink of water. But before I do that, I'm going to clean up the bottom portion of that cabinet, and then I'm going to move forward by watering all my plants. Thinking of, I can see a little bit of rusting, so I was thinking of putting a contact paper on the bottom of it. I've seen some YouTubers and also some people on our plant group that I'm on, that they have contacted the base or the back of their cabinets just to prevent rust, and I think that's a brilliant idea. Now since most of my plants are really dry, I'm going to water them. I usually water every 2 to 3 days depending on how dry they are. And I'm going to check if the entire pot is Look, it looks very dry, and I do have a wicking system for this, and there is a little bit of water, but I'm going to water it a little bit more. As you can see, this Anthurium queen or variegated has a lot of dry edges, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a haircut. I'm just going to cut around all that dry area. I'm not going to cut on the healthy tissue, but just around so it doesn't spread and dry off, just like so. And over here too, I feel really sad that I neglected this and I didn't check that it had gone all dry. I'm just going to cut around all that yellowing bit. I haven't done any pest control for my Anthuriums, so I'm just going to do a quick DIY. I've made a mixture here in this spray bottle, and for that mixture I use a little bit of eco insect killer, some neem oil, isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol, and a little bit of this dishwashing soap, and I add water onto it. I don't have the exact ratios because I just eyeball it and I make it, and it's really helped, So I'm going to spray the leaf. I don't directly spray, I usually spray onto the tissue paper or the towel, and then I just quickly wipe it down. And you must wipe the front and the back. Because of the alcohol, it dries up very quickly. And then when it's completely dry, I'm going to put it into the cabinet. I'm now ready to place my plants back into the cabinet. I've even staked this. I've used an acrylic stake which I got from either Temu or Amazon. So I give it some support. Because of this tall moss pole, it's slightly wet here. It's okay. I'm going to place it inside like this. And there you have it, my entire Milsbo cabinet. One is completely clean and looks sparkly clean. I'm so happy that I was able to do this today. Looking at beautiful plants is easy, but taking care of them takes time and a lot of effort. And only a plant enthusiast would understand how much care goes into caring for these beautiful plants that I have in my collection. It takes a lot of effort, but I love every minute of it. So thank you so much for watching this video along with me. And if you like this kind of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with your friends or your family members who are plant enthusiasts. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.